Hey, what's up guys, it's Casey. Wanted to make an updated video about using the JavaScript snippet method when you're embedding your web forms on your website. So for instance, I have just a standard Infusionsoft form. It's using the JavaScript snippet method to embed the form on my staging site, on my development site. So I have this little bit of code. It's on this page, and that's what's rendering this form. Now, I already have some tracking parameters here, the UTM source, UTM medium, campaign, term, and content. They're all set to test. And I can inspect the page here and just verify that iTracker did load on the page, which it did. And there's all the testing parameters there in our cookie. Now, the problem here is, let's say you fill this out. Let's do iframe1 at testing.com. So we submit this lead, and you go into Infusionsoft. Let's just go over here, and we do iframe1 at testing.com. So there's the lead. So when you look at the lead, none of the tracking data was captured. So there's no custom fields. The lead source isn't, the lead source from the UTM parameters. So it's not tracking correctly. And there's a reason why. What you have to do when you use the JavaScript snippet method is you have to include our tracking code inside this iframe. So since this form is inside an iframe, our code has to be in there. So let me show you how to do that. Just log into the iTracker site, go to Setup and Testing, go to your tracking snippet, copy this stuff here for your code, and inside Infusionsoft, let me go to that campaign that has that form. So I believe it's this form. So this is the form inside Infusionsoft, and what you'll need to do is add a field snippet. No, add just a regular snippet. It's going to be an HTML snippet. So I put mine at the bottom, and I'm just going to paste my iTracker code in there and save it. So our iTracker code is now on this page. So what I'll do is I'm just going to republish this campaign. I'm going to hit publish. And what I'm going to do is go over here. I'm going to refresh the page. And hopefully now our iTracker snippet is inside this frame. And I'm going to verify it. So if I right-click inside the frame, you'll know that you right-clicked in the frame if it says View Frame Source. But I'm going to inspect the frame. I'm going to go to the console. I know that my code is running inside this frame because it's highlighted red. And I'm going to type in iTracker360.i. So I know that our tracking snippet is loading inside the iframe now. So that's all good. So let's do iframe2 at testing.com. And we'll do, iframe2, and we'll do iframe2. So let's submit this lead, and I'll go into Infusionsoft and I'll show you what this is going to look like. So this lead should have the lead source set immediately because it's a standard Infusionsoft form, so that's there. And if we log into the iTracker site, into the API sync area, you're going to see an iframe2 at testing.com. The status is pending. So once this data is pushed into Infusionsoft, we're going to have data in the custom field. So I'm going to refresh the contact record, and here's the custom field data with the IP address and some other data in here. And then in a little bit, once we process like the geo tracking and all that stuff, some other stuff's going to happen. So if you have like some original fields set up for preserving these other fields, or geo IP tracking set up, all this stuff's going to get set once that process runs. So that process is queued for processing, and if I refresh the page, it looks like this is all updated. This is completed, so it took a little under a minute or so, 2 minutes. If I refresh this, depending on your iTracker settings and what account you're on, you might have geo tracking on, it might be off, you might have fields that you're preserving. That was the original lead that we submitted, but let me look at the second lead. So for instance, there's tracking tags now, and there's the geo IP tracking kicked in, and these are just tracking tags that I have enabled for testing. And then these fields got duplicated over here, so that I copied this stuff over into this field, and these fields will never get overwritten if you're concerned about custom fields getting overwritten. So I just have this account set up for that. But in short, if you're using the iframe method, the JavaScript snippet method, you have to include our JavaScript code inside this iframe for it to work.